Oh yeah, it's John Mansell, ex-booze hound. Hope you're well. I guess this is the Christmas message I've done. I think there might be my fourth or fifth. I usually do it earlier than this, but for some reason I haven't done it. 2 sleeps to Christmas, and let's be honest, if you've made it this far, the rest is a piece of piss. You know, it's all. I think this time of year is different for a lot of people for many different reasons. So, looking at myself, just briefly, you know, it's difficult because it's associated with booze and merriment and having fun and and spending time with people. Well, I can't drink booze. I don't really get an awful lot of fun out of life. And yes, I want to spend time with people, but I guess a lot of the time, wherever I am, I don't feel like I'm fitting in. And also with the way things are, I'm not really connected. I don't feel connected with the world at the moment. So therefore, it's difficult to connect with the people within that world. You know, it's a difficult time for people with eating disorders because it's all about food. It's a difficult time for people with anxiety and depression. You know, because it's you can't schedule when these things are going to happen. But also, it's a difficult time for normals. And if you know me from before, you'll know that as far as I'm concerned, there's only 2 different types of people in the world. There's the normals, and then there's us, the mentalists. And there's a fine line between a normal and a mentalist, and I believe it's a lot by degree. I think all in all, 2019 has been a pretty shit year. I've just looked at, while I was ironing this morning, great fun, and weirdly watching a lot of Linkin Park, and I got a bit upset really, not because of the ironing, but just Linkin Park knowing obviously that Chester killed himself, and to see somebody as talented as that, leave this world because of torment inside his own brain, it's really sad. And I know there's other people out there that will have times where other difficult time of year because they've lost people at this time of year, and I'm gonna mention one of those people shortly. I looked at last year's Christmas message vlog, and it was all really quite positive, and I was having a good time. I was happy. I was looking forward to Christmas, and I think the thing that stood out for last year's one was the fact that I was talking about the fact that I've found happiness, however brief, and that I'd found a balance. Well, whatever happened during this year, I haven't had balance. I haven't had balance for a long time. You know, it's I'm quite disappointed in myself as to how I've allowed this year to proceed. Some of you will know that over the years I've done lots of different things with like the NHS and the police and adult social care and lots of other things, Health Watch Dudley, CCG. I've done very little of that this year. I've been running and hiding a lot, and over the years I've mentioned before that I spent most of my life hating who I am, but ex-booze and what ex-booze has done makes me proud to be who I am. And I guess the fact that I haven't been doing the ex-booze stuff and the Today Together stuff as much as I should do has led to me feeling pretty crap about myself. Not a very cheerful message for Christmas, is it? It's about to get better, I promise. I lost a lot of motivation, lost a lot of belief in what I've done and what I can do, which is bloody stupid, because I've done some really great things this year, including going into a number of schools 5, 6, 7 times, talking to hundreds of 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds about mental health and addiction, and I know from the feedback that I've got, it's had an effect. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And anybody out there who's a teacher in my local area and wants to bring reality about mental illness and addiction to their students, then get in touch. That's something, that's one of, I don't very often do goals, but that's one of my goals this year, to expand on the amount of schools that I'm in and talking to teenagers about the reality of mental illness and addiction and associated subjects. Another thing I've done is I did a peer review for Adult Social Care Dudley, where a bunch of experts come in and review how they're doing. Now, somehow I got on that board. I still think it was a very brave thing for Matt to do. Matt Boucher, that is, inviting me in, and I was proud to do that. I was very proud to do that, and hopefully I'll be doing some more of that next year. A couple of weeks ago, when I was just in another, bad place, I had a message on one of my vlogs from a lady in Australia, and I won't mention her name because just in case she doesn't want me to. And she sent me lots of messages since then, and I apologise. I'm not really that good at keeping up with comments and things on social media. Part of my issue at the moment is I just have this massive lack of concentration. And anyway, so she'd obviously watched one of my vlogs, and she sent me this message, and it says, "Thanks so much for your video. You just described my feelings and thoughts today. I saw the sun come up and I cried because I don't want to keep trying to get through another day. Your video has comforted me. Thank you so much." Now, that really, really hit home. And then weirdly, about a week after, a girl called Bex, who I've known for about 3 or 4 years, I went to take her to her psychiatrist appointment, Black Country Mental Health Trust. She was, treated very badly, and I'll be taking that up with people next year. She put together a scrapbook of things that people have said and stuff that I've done over the years. And although I'm of this belief at the moment that I'm a bit of a waste of space and nothing really positive comes from me, she put this scrapbook together, and I want to read a couple of the things out of it. I can't describe how important it has been for me to have someone who is brave and honest about their mental health. I hide everything about mine. You also helped me recognise that I was spiralling, so went to the doctors before I broke completely. Was very close in brackets. Got medication and counselling, and now exercise helps. Without your words, I don't know what I would have done. You're brilliant. Really glad that your work was recognised last night. Now, I believe that was round about time when I got an award from the West Midlands Combined Authority. Another one, just a brief one, a guy called Damien Caulfield. He just said, "I've said it before and will continue to say it, you're an inspiration, John." And then I think this one, I'll finish with this one, it's pretty poignant. It's from Ken McCauley. He died this year, age 48. And he was, me, John and Ken were doing some stuff with an organisation that I set up called Today Together. But unfortunately he died at the end of May. And I don't think I've really got over that still, but it's another thing that that Ken sent me, or Ken posted. Just got back from my oldest daughter's performance. A few things to mention. So very proud of her. Bit of a Billy Elliot moment. However, it's the first time I've been able to go out at night since my breakdown, and it's due to John Mansell and his group giving me the strength and the courage to do it. He is so much more than a mentor. I'm so very proud to call him a friend. Thank you, John. It might seem quite a negative message. It might seem, the whole vlog might seem quite negative, but I don't flower things up. I'm not in a brilliant place. But that message from the girl in Australia, the scrapbook that Beck put together for me, reading through comments like that, makes me realise that I do have worth, and there is a lot more that I can do to help people, and I'm going to make sure that I do that, start that again in 2020. New Year's never really has any significance for me. I don't very often celebrate it because obviously it's booze, I suppose, and this idea of having a brand new year, brand new start, doesn't really sit with me because I because of various things, I live on a daily basis anyway. So every day is a brand new start. But with the way things have been the last few months, majority of this year, then it's got to be a new start. I've got to restart. I've got to get out there and do the stuff that I've been doing in the past. I've got to make a difference. Mental illness and addiction has taken an awful lot from me, and still is taking a lot from me. But it's also given me a purpose to. Someone said to ages ago, this is the reason you're here, John. And right or wrong, maybe it is. I have a purpose to. I've been through all this pain and agony and despair and torment for a reason, because it shows me how I can help others doing it. I mentioned earlier that I've been into a number of schools. I've also written a book, my second book over this year. It's called something along the lines of the A to Z Guide of Navigating Mental Illness, Addiction and Other Associated Issues. Not the catchiest title in the world, but who cares? So another one of my goals this year is to get that published, get it published properly. I published my last one on Amazon and it didn't really work out. I want to get it published physically. And there was something else as well that I was going to put down as my goals, but I can't remember what it is. I don't know. I've lost the plot. Look, if you're struggling, accept it. It is what it is. It's part of life. It's not just us with mental health issues or mentalists that have issues in life that make life difficult. It's everybody. Everybody has difficult times. A phrase that I've used many times before. Somehow I've got to strap on a pair again in 2020 and get out there and start holding people to account. Try and make some differences. It sounds a bit egotistical, but that's what people have told me I've done before, so I want to do it again, and I want to make sure I do it to the best of my ability. If you're struggling, it could be for any reason. It might be Christmas. Christmas is nearly over. We've had the 3 or 4 month build up. All we've got to do now is get through a couple of days, eat some food, and be merry, if that's. but don't force it. Just be true to yourself. Your family and friends around you, they know about your illness, or they should know about your illness or your issues that you've got. Believe in them. They'll be there to support you. One of the other messages that was in the scrapbook that Beck made me was this one, and I know Beck won't mind me saying it, but this is one of Beck's tweets from a while back. John, tonight I left the house delusional, suicidal, and with a pocket of pills. I turned on my data and Twitter's goes mad with your comments. Just the simple ones like one day at a time made me stop what I was going to do, turn around and go home. Although I know the next few months are going to be extremely hard because of trauma, etc., it's made me realise that people are around me who care. Shout out to Stu, who also let me rant at him tonight. Thank you. Again, it's not brilliant to be talking about, going out suicidal thoughts and stuff at Christmas, but these are the facts. These things that happen on a daily basis. And again, you've heard on the news many times this year about people who've taken their own lives because the support's not there. Now, one of the things that I've decided I've got to do for 2020 is go back to basics. It doesn't matter what your illness is, it doesn't matter how you deal with it, nobody out there is going to fix you. So I've got this thing that I created a long time ago, and it says in order for us to move forward with our recovery, we have to own our own illness, and more importantly, we have to own our own recovery. The NHS and people like adult social care can only do so much. We have to do the majority of it. And that's by finding some belief in ourselves, finding some reason in ourselves, and all of us have something to give. And if you don't believe that, then I don't believe I've got something to give, but you're watching my vlog at the moment, so if you don't believe that you have something, then you're wrong, because if I can do this, other people can do this as well. I just chose to put it all out there, which is good and bad in some ways. Mental illness, addiction, self-harm, eating disorders are all daily battles that we have to fight against. And we do have to fight against it, because the alternative is not to fight. And if we do that, then we've let the bastards win. We are stronger than we believe. And we're not alone. There's so much help out there. You just have to find it, go for it, find it, and believe it can make a difference. I'm going to shut up now. I'm nearly up to 19 minutes. I don't know. Again, I've said this all the time. I don't know whether anything I've said will be of use. But what I can say is that I am going to make a lot of effort in 2020 to turn my life back around, to find some happiness again, to find some balance. I want to be out there helping people. And I know this sounds a bit daft, because I believe I can help people. I've got a gift to help people. And I'm wasting it if I'm just sitting at home wallowing in my own self-pity. So let's not wallow. Let's get Christmas out of the way. Let's see if we can have some fun. I always like the Christmas crown out of the crack, because that always makes me smile. Find something to make you smile. Have some fun. If you don't feel like joining in, don't join in. Just do what you need to do. But it's a day. It'll soon be over, and then we can start again in 2020, and we can save the world. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.